All right, welcome Keller Williams Chicago, one Chicago, I should say, right, Melissa? Getting
Yes,
started.
one love.
All right, one Chicago. So, guys, today on this Lunch and Learn, which we're going to send this video out, Melissa and I want to talk about the power of the gift that we are giving for being associated with this company. So, the gift is called Profit Share, right? And I don't know about you, there's a lot of talk out there of what this really is. And what we want to do today is give you guys clarity around not only how it works, but first and foremost, why it's important and why this gift has been given to us. And you're going to hear Melissa and I describe this as a gift because at the end of the day, it really is, right? And this comes from the top down. This comes from Gary Keller as leadership saying that, hey, I'm making a decision here to give the people who help grow our company, and I'm going to give them profit. I'm going to make them a stakeholder into this organization. So if you help grow this company, you should be rewarded for it, right? You hear a lot of things out there, right, Melissa? People saying like, oh, it's a Ponzi scheme. Oh, it's like whatever, things like that. And listen, most of us, you're never going to hear us really kind of lead with it or talk with it or lead our talks with it, because at the end of the day, Melissa, you can speak to this, right? It's not the reason. It's just the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae is what I always say, right?
For
So,
sure.
Melissa, give us your take on Profit Share, what it's done for you and why it's important.
Sure. Listen, everyone, every single brokerage out there recruits. That's a fact. And what's great about Keller Williams is we're one of the only ones that actually thanks our agent partners for helping us do that. And ultimately, like Joe's saying, it's not the main reason that you come to Keller Williams, but it's one of the values and the benefits of being part of an organization that actually cares about you, well into your retirement years, is actually helping you develop a strategy for your life and wealth building within it that is truly passive and truly helping you build wealth that's generational, things that you can leave to your families and generations to come. So
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you have a mission statement, right, to give your associates businesses worth owning, careers worth having, life's worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving, you need to, if you're really going to have integrity, you need to live up to that expectation. And this is Keller Williams' way of doing it, right? With legacies worth leaving is one of the reasons, right? You can go to the business worth owning and the career worth having with the the capping model, right? At the end of the day, the capping model is so that you guys can invest more into your business, right? At the end of the day, still have support, still have the proven models and systems, and still have the culture of the office, which is most important, but also you're not getting taken from all the time, right? So at the end of the day, this is really important because what Gary wants you to do with the capping model is invest more into your business, right? It's pretty awesome. And then the legacies worth living part of the mission statement is amazing because at the end of the day, like I had this conversation with somebody earlier, Melissa, it was hilarious. At the end of the day, you see these people, with no disrespect, staying in the industry for a really long time, and like I hear a lot of people kind of saying like, oh man, I wish, I don't want to be selling real estate at that age, whether that's 40, 50, 60, 70, or 80, whatever it is, right? But at the end of the day, that's because nobody has taught them to have multiple sources of income.
yes.
Nobody has taught them to save, to run it as a business, right? At the end of the day, and be profitable so that you can leave a legacy or, again, have a business that will allow you to retire, right?
And what I really love is that, Gary, we call our agents agent partners.
Yeah.
And so he really, with this model, we're really walking our talk. As our agent partners, we're committed to helping and providing profit back to you. We're actually sharing our profits back to you as our true agent partners. And so helping you build passive wealth by being a part of our organization and a partnership in our growth. It is only fair and right that you do receive half of our profits back for helping us grow.
Yeah.
So that's a way that we're delivering on our promise to you as our true partners in this journey. But we need your help.
What's beautiful, Melissa, right, is that we're not only, we're an open book company, right? How awesome is that? So I'm going to share stuff with you guys, not because, listen, I'm out here and trying to like tout it or anything like that. But at the end of the day, what I'm sharing with you guys is what this can really do, right? And because we're an open book company, you can go and check out, on our internet what people make in profit share, right? At the end of the day. So again, this isn't a big secret. But for the past 2 months, right, I have profit shared collectively, not each individual, over $11,000. It was $6,000 and then and change, and then like $4,800. And at the end of the day, it's like, again, I'm not telling you guys this to kind of tout it, but more or less, because that's not who we are, but more or less tell you what that impact is. I mean, that's a $500,000 transaction at 100%, right? It's a lot of money, right? You can do that. If you do that once a month, right? All of a sudden you're kind of like, whoa, man, this this gets real fast, right? This gets real fast. And to put this into perspective, we have a lot of craziness going on in the world right now, right? And there's stimulus packages out there that our government is giving, right? Saying, hey, listen, we'll give you $600 a month, right? As a stimulus package out there, right, Melissa? So that's the giving that the government is trying to do to help while we're in this pandemic and in this craziness. But let's put this into perspective for a second, okay? Last month, Keller Williams, the company, profit shared $22,387,999 back to their associates. So let's break this down even further, Melissa. That is $194,000 a day. That is $70,091.40 an hour. And remember, we said stimulus package giving $600 a month. $501.52 a minute.
Wow.
Right? So, I mean, I get chills thinking about it. It's like, this leader of ours has said, I want to impact people's lives at the highest level. So I want to, the people who go out there and grow this are the people that should be rewarded for it, right? So at the end of the day, it's a beautiful thing. And what we want to do right now, Melissa and I, is talk about it, right? Explain it and let people know that they absolutely should be participating in it. Now, I don't want you to think it's your job, right? Melissa doesn't want to think it's your job. But what we will tell you is it's our job, right? So at the end of the day, when you find a like-minded person that is either in real estate or has vision of being in real estate or has just gotten their license, you're going to want to introduce Melissa and I to them so that we can make note that you introduced them, right? To make sure that they're going your downline and talk to them about how to run this, how to have a business worth owning, a career worth having, and a life worth living in this business. And if they're like-minded, I promise you, they will join this company and they will start, they will start giving you a downline or a profit share.
Can you clean up your dishes? Make your beds?
So, Melissa, what do you have to say about that?
So I think it's amazing because every day we can look, every day in all the conversations and the people that we're meeting, you can look for opportunity wherever that comes. And so let's say you're sitting in open house and a client, a potential buyer comes in and they share the fact that, yes, they are working with an agent. Instead of feeling bummed out about that, you should actually celebrate that and say, and seek to find out their agent's name. And then consider that an opportunity to reach out to that agent and just let them know, hey, your client stepped by the open house and they really seem to like it, build that rapport. And then all you have to do is make that all you literally have to do is text Joe and I the name of that agent, and we'll do all the heavy lifting for you. So it's a way for you to seek out additional sources of opportunity for building your economic engine. Profit share should absolutely be considered, I'd say, the fifth conversation of our 4 conversations. And so basically just having that awareness that you can find opportunity in every conversation. You can turn that showing into a profit share appointment just by literally texting us or emailing the agent's name. And Joe and I will do the heavy lifting for you. All we need is just some type of information on that agent and how you may have known them or had an opportunity to engage with them.
Yeah, I mean, so you said the word opportunity, right? So
Yeah.
what's great about this is that you have, this is what this is about, right? It's an opportunity, and we know that your average millionaire, right, has 5 to 7 sources of income, right? The amount of real estate agents out there that just have 1 source of income is insane, right? I mean, it's just like, yeah, no, I go and sell some homes and I make X amount of money, right? And that's how they view it. But when you view it as a business owner, right, and you view it of, okay, how do I run this business? How profitable can I be to make this business? And then how can I get more additional sources of income from this business? That's important, right? So again, profit share is another source of income that you can have. Obviously, investing in real estate, starting a staging company, whatever else you guys want to do is important. But the easiest one to do for the best rate of return, right, is profit share, right? Is the gift that we've been given. So some interesting stats here, Melissa, that I want to share with you. You know how many people in our company make over $1 million in profit share?
How many?
90.
Wow.
90 people make over $1 million in profit share. And the other thing that we want to know is everyone wants to know, like, how does it work, or how does it work, or what's the benefit? Well, we talked about the benefit, right? The benefit is to give you, again, another source of income that can help. Again, I am, and Melissa will be the people that will tell you there are people out there that focus on just this, right, and make a career out of it. And if you should decide to do that, that's fine. But that's not our point. Our point here is not to stuff profit share down your throat. Our point here is to tell you, you have an opportunity, as Melissa said, to add another source of income that can impact your life. And I believe, Melissa, it's in our market. I did the math on it. And I haven't looked at it for a couple months, but I believe, and as everyone knows, if you have 15 people in your first line and your downline, right? So 15 people have named you as the reason that they came to this company. Over the course of 3 years, that's $50,000, regardless of their income, right? So over the course of time, obviously, like anything else, it takes time to pick up, but that's $50,000. So at the end of the day, a lot of us have sold 15 homes by making a couple of phone calls a year, right? This is the same thing, right, Melissa? It's like, reach out to 15 people that you know, and I believe that the rate of return is you have to ask 23 people to get 15, or it's 26. You have to ask 26 people to get 15 in your downline. So it's 2 a month, right?
Yes.
Less than 1. So Melissa, talk to me about some of your experiences with this.
So, honestly, the best way that I've been able to help people and other agents that I'm coming across is really, they ask me, how am I doing in my business? I share with them. They're watching me on social media. So they're watching, believe me, all eyes are watching you. They just may not be letting you know that they are, but they are watching you. So, sharing some of my successes on Facebook and what have you has really opened the doors to some conversations when I see them out in the field. So let's say I'm on a showing and they're like, oh, you're with Keller Williams and what have you. It's just been a really great icebreaker for me to just naturally share what I'm up to. And so, and then I just welcome them to have a cup of coffee with me. Or, like I said, another great strategy is the open house strategy. I've been, letting the agents know when their clients come through the door as a courtesy. So instead of me trying to steal their client, I'm actually giving them the heads up that the client came in. They're like, wow, you're so great. Thanks for letting me know. And then I invite them to have a cup of virtual coffee with me, if you will. And then another opportunity is when people are sending you, their email blasts of their new listings or some price adjustments. You're getting these email blasts from other agents. Reach out to them just as a, hey, I love your listing. It looks great. What are you seeing in the market? Especially if they had to do a price adjustment, kind of building that rapport with them around that price adjustment and letting them know, you know what, I like this property. If I have a buyer, I'll bring it your way. And then that's a way of being very, building camaraderie amongst your agent peers. And then all you have to do, guys, is literally let Joe and I know that you've been doing this, and we're going to be happy to reach out. We know how to break the ice with them to get that appointment. We just need you to build the rapport. And you're all out there so highly respected and successful that they're going to take notice and listen to you when you talk.
Well, the beautiful thing about this, Melissa, right, is really what we're telling people to do is just be themselves.
Yes.
Right?
Be you. Yeah.
You continue to be yourself and be who you are, you're going to attract people, right? So again, at the end of the day, this, Melissa, you and I have talked a lot about this company for me personally has been a personal development company, right? And we're out there just kind of, the result of doing the right thing and being the person that you are and having integrity, people are going to be attracted to that. I mean, we live at the end of the day, the God's honest truth is we live in an industry that is sort of cutthroat, right? And there, people are out there, and I respect that. And, we're competitive and we're all out there, but when you do the right thing and you treat people the way that they want to be treated and do everything in an integrous fashion, right? People are going to be attracted to that, right? And that's, to be honest with you, that's what attracted us to this company, right? Melissa, is the thought leadership, the people out there, again, going back to this saying, hey, I'm going to profit share I'm going to give the profits back to my associates, right? Pretty amazing when this person believes in that and does it. And then, a little mom and pop shop from Austin, Texas becomes the top real estate company in the world, right? It's a pretty amazing story. And how he did that was with integrity, doing the right thing and making sure everything's a win.
I want to share a story that during COVID, and humbly so, 1 month my profit share actually helped pay for my electric bill. So, I mean, that's kind of the little blessings, and it was actually an unexpected blessing because I had no idea that it was coming. We don't know until the 21st, obviously, when it hits our account. But yeah, that really was. I really could have used that money, and it just came right when I needed it. And so I just thought, wow, I just was really amazed at the company that we work for or with, not for, with.
That we have the ability to represent is what I always say.
Yeah.
It's a gift that we get to, we've chosen to represent, people who stand for us and keep us as the fiduciary in the middle of the transaction. So it's amazing. So let's go to how it actually works. All right. Hopefully you guys can see this. All right. And Melissa, I'm going to have you.
Looks good. I can see it without my glasses, so you're good.
All right, cool. So hopefully everyone can see it. So, all right. So how we work is we call our offices market centers, right? So we have had the awesome chance to combine the 3 market centers, but we're just going to go right now on for numbers sake on easy numbers. Okay. So people are on splits, right? So you go out there and you sell some real estate, and it's a $10,000 commission, and $7,000 is going to go to you, and $3,000 is going to go to what we call a company dollar. Is going to go to the market center to actually run the office, right, and give the support that we need. So the $200,000 here is company dollars. It's top line revenue, right? Making sense so far? All right. And then obviously we're going to have expenses, expenses in the form of rent, salaries, right? Electric bills, things like that. So let's just say that we have $100,000 in expenses to pay. All right. Again, this is just easy math. So we have $100,000 in profit. All right. Melissa, in every other company that you know of, real estate company, what happens to this $100,000 of profit?
It stays with the company.
It goes to the owners, right?
Right. It goes to the owners.
Again, the typical $100,000, right? $100,000, it goes to the owners. What KW believes in, which is amazing, is a leverage rate of return to their associates and their investors. All right, so they're gonna divvy that $100,000 up, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. Okay, so how this works? So if you're following me so far, this is a market center. Okay, and then this is still a market center. So what the math on this becomes is the first $2,990 of this $100,000 profit, 75% of it goes to the investors. Why does the 75% of it go to the investors? Well, the investors, as you notice, I'm not using the word owners. The investors invested their money. They put their money up and said, hey, we'll sign the leases. We'll buy the copiers, right? We'll get the support staff for people to run their businesses out, right? We'll do all that. And we're going to take 75% of the return on the first $229.90, and then we're going to give 25% back to the profit share pool. So if you could see that, the PSP is the profit share pool, right? Are you still seeing me, Melissa, or do I need to?
Yep, we got it.
The next $8,250 is the same thing. 65% of it's going to go to the investors. 35% is going to go to the profit share pool. Okay? So if you can see here, the profit share pool, 25% of the $29.90 is $747.50, and then 35% of the $82.50 is $2887.50. So as you can see, it's starting to grow, get some momentum here. Well, if you add the first and the next, you have $11,240. Okay? How Keller Williams is set up is for every $11,000, for once you hit $11,240, we're going to go 50% of it goes to the investor and 50% of it goes to the profit share pool. So when you do the math on this on $100,000, and if you're a math person, the shortcut to it is for every $100,000, $48,000 goes to the profit share pool. You can still see, Melissa?
Yep.
$48,000 goes to the profit share pool, and $52,000 goes back to the investors. Now, here's an interesting fact, right? A lot of people have said, Melissa, like, oh man, I wish I was an investor and in the profit share. True, right? I'm not going to say that there isn't, but here's the benefit of being in the profit share pool. The profit share pool goes everywhere. This 52% is only, this $52,000 only goes to that market center, right?
Right.
48K is to everyone. So the coolest thing about profit share is if you know somebody in California, New York, Florida, Texas, Canada, right? London, there's a difference between profit share and growth share, but we'll talk about that. But if you do, you're going to participate in this 48%, right? So that's sort of the high level of how this gets broken down. So really, at the end of the day, for every $100,000 in profit, you need to know the shortcut of it is 48 of it goes into the profit share pool and 52K. And the win of the 48 going into the profit share pool is you can participate it everywhere all over the country. Got it? Anything to share?
I have people that have joined in Seattle and Atlanta and in Michigan. So basically, I'm getting a piece of 4 different market centers profit share.
Right.
So people always ask me, should I just market to strictly my local database? And I'm like, no, the opportunity is global for us. So keep marketing, absolutely make connecting with other agents part of your marketing strategy as well. for referrals and for profit share. And don't limit yourself and your opportunity just to the Chicagoland area.
Well, Melissa, what the best thing about this business, and I'm sorry, the best thing about this business and this company, right, is what are we taught to do? We're taught to think big, right? Do not have a ceiling on what you think you can accomplish. Because again, what Gary has said to us and so many of us in different ways is at the end of the day, you can accomplish anything you want, right? As long as you put your mind to it and set goals and standards towards that, right? One of the more powerful things I've ever heard Gary Keller say in one of his masterminds is he said, people underestimate what they can do in a year. I'm sorry, they overestimate what they can do in a year and they underestimate what they can do in 5. You know, he challenges all of us all the time and says, you can build whatever business you want in 5 years, you know? So again, know that. Don't be the Joe Zimmerman and say, oh yeah, I can do that in 12 months. No problem, you know? Because you can put a path into place in 12 months, but to get to really where you want, if you're thinking big enough, it's going to take you 5 years. Would you agree with that, Melissa?
I would. When I talk to people with a massive trajectory of success, it really started surfacing around the 3-year mark is when they started seeing how they were going to end up in that 5-year zone. So it can happen. It can start happening as soon as 3 years, but really to build out that big vision, for sure, 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so how does it work, right? All right, so remember we had $48,000, right, worth of profit. Okay, so let's just go with numbers on this, right? 10% of that is $4,800. All right, so you're gonna be here, right? And agent, this is you, this is me, agent here. So how this works and how the math of this works is, I am this agent. I'm gonna name this agent, Agent A, right, as my sponsor. All right, Agent A is gonna get 58% of the $4,800. Oops. All right, Agent A is going to get 50% of the $4,800, which is $2,400. Okay. Well, Agent A obviously had a sponsor as well, right? And Agent A named Agent B as this, right? So Agent B is going to get 10% of the $4,800, which is what? $480, right? So because I named this person, and this person named this person, they're getting $480, right? Agent B had a what? Sponsor. And that sponsor here gets 5% of the $4,800, which is $240. Keeps going. Agent D gets 5%, $240. Well, look what happens here between D and E. All of a sudden, E gets 7.5%, which is $360. 240 and 360, right? That's more. So Melissa, why do you think that is more?
You know, that's always a great question. I would imagine it's the thank you, that you get for, these are the pioneers probably of this model. The people that are in this tier are the ones that are believing it, sooner than the others. So that's, they're taking a little bit of maybe it was a challenge for them to get those people initially to come in. Yep. And so like they're the pioneers of that model. So they get rewarded at a little bit higher.
Yep, you're absolutely right. These people are going to be rewarded, right? Because they're growing, they're helping growing the company at a higher rate, right? So at the end of the day, where you hear the pyramid scheme or whatever, this is where this starts to take flight, right? Is because all of a sudden, if you're Agent E and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in your downline, right? Well, you're going to be making a lot of money. Mostly, 360, 240, 480, 2400. All of a sudden, you are the people that believed in us first, so you're going to be rewarded at the highest level, right? Agent F, again, because of that theory, goes to 10%, which is 48. And Agent G, all of a sudden, boom, because they were the pioneers, right? they're at 12.5%, which is 600 bucks, right? So if you add up these numbers, right, all of these percentages is 100%, all of these dollar amounts is $4,800, right? So that's really how it works. But at the end of the day, it's the belief behind it. It's the belief behind it. So I will go back to what we originally said. If you were to invest, Melissa, I'm going to ask you this question. If you were to invest into a stock or buy equity into a business, why would you do that?
Because I would want to capitalize on a rate of return over time.
Right? An ROI.
An ROI. Mm-hmm.
And if you were to invest into a company or a stock, do you think it's going to go down?
There's always the risk that
Right.
a stock, the stock market is a volatile, changing, living thing. And so there is a risk that it would go down, yes.
But do you believe that it would go down? If you're putting your money up, do you believe that it would go down?
I'm an optimist, so no.
That's the thing.
I wouldn't.
So Melissa, that's my point, right? Is if you're going to invest your money into something or your time into something, you need to believe in it, right? So this goes back to that bold law, and I see Ann Rosen is here, but hey, at the end of the day, 90% of success is mindset. So if you do not believe in this company, and you don't believe in your personal development and your growth that's going to happen here, then profit share probably isn't for you. Because how are you going to go out there and talk about it and tell people, right, about it and how it's impacted you? So again, it's like using that analogy of hey, if I don't believe the stock's going to go up in value, I'm not going to invest my money into it, right? But if I do believe it's going to go up, it's the same thing. I'm going to put equity into it. I'm going to put my time, energy into it. And just to know for you guys, my journey with this company is I believed in it right away, right? And that was 4 years ago, right? So in 4 years, without much work at all, as far as the people that I know, in 4 years, my profit share is about 70-ish grand a year, right? It's a lot of salaries for some people. That's a salary for a lot of people. So again, not telling you that to be pompous, just telling you that it is doable, right? And you can do it. So again, you need to believe in it. You need to have the mindset of doing it first and foremost. So the other thing that I hear a lot of, Melissa, and I'm sure you hear a lot about it, is with profit share is, oh man, I missed the boat, right? Oh man, I must have missed the boat on that. What would you say to that, Melissa?
I would just encourage you that it's never too late to start building that first 15. And a lot of times, sharing what's going on and successes inside of your business with others, it just naturally draws them to you. So it's never too late. I was 46 when I came to this company, and I would encourage. I think I have I'm not quite to my 15 yet in my first line, but over the course of the years, it's actually grown deeper, with the different levels. So now my goal would be to continue growing that first line. But the people that I do have in my first line, it actually has gone pretty deep. Yeah. And so that's kind of where the magic starts happening, is when the downline grows deeper. But it's never too late. And as long as you're out there and you can talk and pick up a phone or meet people in person, and you know how to break the ice and have a great rapport with someone, all you have to do is send us that text message, and Joe and I will break the ice and do that heavy lifting for you. So do not let that be a story you tell yourself.
Here's also what I would say to that, and thank you, Melissa, for sharing that. Here's also what I would say to that is, when Melissa, Tanya, and myself joined the company, I'm going to ask Joe Green and Ann Rosen here, and I'm sure they do know it. When we joined the company 4 years ago, I remember walking in and them saying, oh man, we have 130,000 associates. 130, it's a lot. That was 4 years ago. How many associates do they have now, Melissa? Like
Over 165,000, I believe.
165,000. So the growth is here. So when you think like, oh man, I might have missed the boat. No, you didn't. The boat hasn't even left the dock yet, right?
Well, yeah, in our town, especially in Chicago.
Yeah, right. So it's like you haven't. So again, Melissa and I are here to say to make this a priority to you because we're here to help you, but we're here for you to educate you to understand what this can do for you. And if you do want to participate in it, I want you to understand that you can, and it won't take much time. All right. So Ann, Joe Green, if you can unmute yourselves really quickly. How many people, Joe Green, Ann, I'm gonna start with you. How many people, when you joined the company, how many people were with Keller Williams? Do you remember?
Gosh, I think it was just over 100,000.
Just over 100,000. What year was that?
2008.
All right.
In the last downturn, if you will. So maybe there's some opportunity now, huh?
Okay. Joe Green, do you remember how many people were with the company when you joined?
I don't. When did I join? 2010 is when I joined.
Okay, so just over, Ann was 100,000, right? So probably 110, 100, something, 110, 120, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So what would you guys say? And what would you say if somebody said, oh, the ship's kind of passed on that?
No, I concur 100% with what Melissa said. Our opportunity in Chicago is huge. And remember that we know people across the country and even across the globe. I mean, there's growth share, which is a whole nother conversation. So yeah, and it's nurturing, just like you nurture your buyers and sellers, you just nurture other agents.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to go to the Kool-Aid moment. Melissa, you can help me on the Kool-Aid moment. Like I drink the Kool-Aid. I actually chug the Kool-Aid, right? So I'm completely into chugging the Kool-Aid. So, but here's the deal. This company is doing things that other companies are not doing, right? And they are disrupting the market again, right? And the models and systems that they have and the fundamental principles that they have, and then topping that off with the technology that they're giving us, right? And just the leadership in general is absolutely amazing. So it is a movement, and this ship hasn't sailed at all. So get into it if you want to, right? Like at the end of the day, if you guys want to make this a priority, reach out to Melissa, reach out to myself. Let's put a plan together. All we need is some introductions. And our goal is that people here start to work for free. And how do you work for free, Melissa Bassett?
So when you are building out that first line and it starts going deeper, at some point your profit share is going to surpass our cap.
Right.
And so essentially, just like Joe is hitting that $70,000 a year, it's more than covering his now $22,000 cap.
Yes. It
So
costs
it's almost like we're paying Joe to work for Keller.
right? I mean, yeah, you can look at it. But think about that. Like, I'm getting paid to run my business here. It's pretty cool, to be honest with you. It's pretty cool, and that will impact lives, right? And that will do, again, remember that mission statement. Businesses worth owning, careers worth having, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, legacies worth living, right? So at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, like, what other leaders out there are doing this? What other leaders are doing out this? I mean, there's other spins on this, and there's other spins on this, right? Other companies are saying, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let me kind of dabble in it and maybe give you some stock option if we're profitable or this or that. Our leader has said, no, we're going to run proven models and systems. This is going to put demand on me to be better, right? So that we are profitable, so that we can, at the 21st of every month, give, what was that number, Melissa?
22 million.
Roughly $22 million back to our associates, right? And I looked back at it, and over the last year to date, they're averaging $17 million in profit share. Averaging $17 million a month in profit share. So again, the point of this is not to stick profit share down your throat. The point of this is to know that you have a gift to give to yourself in the form of profit share. And if you believe in the company and you believe in what we're doing and you believe in the models and systems and you truly believe that it can impact other people's lives, then look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to participate in profit share. Cool. Melissa, any closing thoughts?
You know, I just, you know, think of other companies that do that share that piece of like a stakeholder or a shareholder. And then the fact that when sometimes their profits dip, so do they start taking the benefits away from the other companies. And the fact that we're so unique that we don't have any debt as a company, and that we're not trying to bait and switch people. Like, we really walk our talk.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Which one of the Fab Five asked the question in the chat?
That's me, Darla.
Hey, Darla, what's happening? Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I always am interested in this. And my question, I asked that question is because it doesn't appear I'm in the downline of the person who I thought I was in. Because
Okay.
that would be my partner who doesn't see anything from me.
Okay, so there's a
Yeah.
couple of, where do
I
you
was recruited by him in like 2003.
Okay. So there's a couple of things. Where do you see it? All right, let's go there first. Well, if you remember, we were getting the printout reports for a long time on the 21st of who was in the downline, right? When Mike Hillary was here. So that was one place you would see it. Joe Green, I'm gonna walk me through the tech part of it, of where you look at it online, or Ann.
It's in my KW under reports.
Yep.
Thanks, Joe.
I'm your alter ego, Joe, you know that.
Yeah. And then the other thing, Darla, too, that we have to realize is that how profit share works is, one, the market center needs to be profitable. Okay. That the person that you named is that your market center needs to be profitable, but you're here and we've been profitable every month, right? And then two, your business needs to be profitable, right? So meaning you need to produce company dollar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So that those factors might come into play. If somebody was like, yeah, I haven't seen profit share from this person, well, they might be in a market center that's not profitable, right? You know, obviously we can't share profit if we're not profitable, right?
Right.
And two, if their business is paying in company dollar or not.
Okay. All right.
Got it?
Yeah. So I'll check into that.
Or Ann just said, great point. Or they already capped, right? So I have some rock stars in my downline, Melissa, Rory, Dominic, some people like, when I get that down like that, even Tanya, when I get that report and I look, it's like, oh, they capped. So I don't get any of those $100 from them because they already capped. They already did that, which is good. So, all right, guys, we recorded this. We're going to send it out. We're going to post it on Facebook in our group, and we appreciate you guys being here. So ending statements. If you are interested in growing your downline, having another source of income, reach out to myself or Melissa, and we'll put a plan together with you, and we promise and are committed to growing that downline. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks, guys.